From the outside, this facility looks like an office building. Inside, hundreds of animals are slated to die in contagious disease experiments. Here, feces, urine, and food are splattered across the floor. The longer the animals are confined, the more neurotic they become. Some animals try to cope with their fear and life in a barren cage by developing erratic movements. There are almost 1,000 animals here, including apes and 7 different monkey species. The cage sides are solid, so that most monkeys caged individually can never socialize or touch. In another room, more animals are encased behind the double sealed doors of isolates, a cage within a sealed metal chamber. Instead of the forest, they hear only other primates banging their heads and their hands against the bars, and the incessant hum of the pumps that bring air into their sealed units. In this room, highly intelligent primates have gone mad from isolation. Never able to walk or to touch another living being, they sit and rock themselves into eternity. This macabre circular dance is an expression of insanity. He is too far gone to stop for more than a second when the outer chamber door opens. Other abnormal behaviors include head banging and self-mutilation. In these huge tombs, adult chimpanzees contaminated with contagious disease will live up to 50 years. They exist in semi-darkness, totally alone and with no stimulation of any kind. Infected with viral hepatitis in February 1986, chimpanzee number 1164, an older male, has gone mad. Crouched on the metal slats at the bottom of his inner chamber, number 1164 rocks incessantly and mumbles to himself. If he hears anything, it is the hum of the mechanism pumping air into the isolate. The fact that chimpanzees are our closest living relatives did not save him from living death. As the outer sealer door is opened, light enters the chamber, but he has lost all hope and cannot respond. He continues to rock and to mutter, back and forth, rocking without end. Here, mothers circle, agitated, unable to defend the babies who cling to them. Other mothers hold their infants and stare blankly out of their wire homes. Some mothers are too psychotic from laboratory life to raise their infants, but all mothers will lose their young to the experimenters. These frightened juveniles, already removed from their mothers, are afraid of the intrusions they have come to expect. As soon as they are old enough to be experimented on, they bear the tattoos on their chests reminiscent of another time. These newborn infants will never know their mothers. They live in steel cages in yet another room. Unable to thrive under such barren conditions, many of these orphans will die in their metal nursery before being infected with human disease. Desperate to suckle, these infants are glad of the fingers outstretched towards them. In some cages, animals are sick. This old macaque monkey has no spirit left. She shivers as if she has neurological damage and is suffering from abrasions to her face and neck. Here, a tiny exotic marmoset has suffered facial abrasions too and has hair loss on her back and sides. In another cage, a squirrel monkey has died. His body is just left. Next door to him, another squirrel monkey is ill and has vomited onto his cage floor. This laboratory provides a living death to a variety of animals, including groundhogs, taken from their field homes and families to be infected with diseases they would never get. These naturally burrowing animals must live in the open here on metal rungs. There is hope for some. In this room, baby chimpanzees, their fate to be future AIDS subjects, have not yet been infected. Most of these toddlers, just 2 to 3 years old, were shipped here from an Air Force base. They are at a crucial age, for like us, the most important thing in their lives is companionship. If they do not enter a social group now, their chances of being normal are practically nil. Next door, Kyle and Eric bang on their glass cage fronts as they see adjacent doors opening and friendly contact being made. Hands are outstretched and everybody is desperate for attention. Beats me. Everywhere there is great excitement. After months of life in an empty cage, everyone wants to touch the masks, to smell, to groom, to hold hands. Brenda, the infant in this cage, used to be able to play and had an old English sheepdog companion before being shipped here. The oldest, most vocal, and already neurotic Barbie is soothed with some popsicle and attention. Until now, only men and women in caps, gowns, and surgical masks have come not to visit her, but to bleed her or dump her waste. This baby chimp cannot be saved. He has already been infected, and he will remain here in isolation until his death. And now a final stop. This is Death Row, one of the isolate rooms where eventually baby chimps will spend 2 or more decades in isolation. An adult chimpanzee, weighing more than this woman and our closest living relative in the animal kingdom, whose blood we can exchange for our own, is condemned to living death in this reinforced steel chamber. Starved for contact, this 3-year-old screams when the isolate door is sealed. All around her, there are rooms full of animals circling and rocking their lives away. For them, there is no peace. We have reduced these wonderful animals to this. Please help us. Reach out and be their true friends.